Index, a measure of changes in the cost of commodities and services purchased by households, has been issued for the month of July. CPI, as it is known, is a statistical estimate calculated using the costs of a sample of representative items whose prices are collected periodically. While the inflation rate remains fixed at 1.3%, a nominal increase from the same period last year, higher prices are being reported in respect of transport and housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels.
So the higher prices were observed in transportation services, where they increased by 10%, mainly due to an increase of 24.1% in airfares. Housing, water, electricity, and gas and other fuels, where we saw the overall expenditure category increasing by 1.3%. We had rent prices going up by 1.4%, water prices going up by 6.9% in this category. And accommodation services increased by 6%, where we had international hotel services increasing by 13.2%. So that's what we have observed in the main categories that have moved the index since May.
The annual percentage change in a CPI is a measure of inflation and can also be used to express the real value of wages, salaries, and pensions, as well as the cost of food, etc. For the first time since 2011, the food index fell slightly in July, reflecting lower prices across most categories.
Now, the food index actually decreased in month of July by 0.3%. We hadn't seen a decrease in the food index. However, that doesn't mean that prices of the food were cheaper than last month. Rather, the food and non-alcoholic beverages increased by 0.3% from June, but corresponding the month of July of 2013, these are the categories where we saw the decrease for 2014. Meat products went down by 0.4%, eggs went down by 14.5%, pasta products went down by 1.3%. There was also some upward movements in the prices, where vegetables moved by 2.2%, and seafood increased by 1.3%, and the fruits, they decreased by 4.5%.
Gross domestic product, GDP, on the other hand, grew by 8.7% in the second quarter, from April to June, bringing the cumulative economic growth for the first half of the year to 3.7%. This succeeded a slight decline in the first quarter, where the growth rate was a minus 0.4%. Where external trade is concerned, Belize brought in more goods between January and July of this year when compared to the same period in 2013.
7 months of 2014, Belize imported goods totaling $1.14 billion. This was an increase of $68.4 million, or a 6.4% increase. The largest increases were in the machinery and transport equipment category, which was up by $20.3 million, and also the mineral fuels and lubricants category, which was up by $20.2 million. The reason for the large increase in the machinery and transport equipment category was because of an increased import of motor vehicles for the transport of goods, and in the mineral fuels, it was an increase of diesel oil being imported.
Despite positive growth being recorded in sugarcane, oranges, livestock, tourism, rum and beer, there was a marked decline in petroleum, bananas, shrimp, and government services. Export revenues reflect that decrease.
Export revenues total $390.3 million for this period, and this was a decrease of $55.4 million, or 12.4% over 2013. We had crude petroleum, sugar, and orange concentrate combined for a decrease of $49 million of the total $55.4 million decrease. We had crude down by $21 million, or 24%. Sugar was down by $22 million, or 22%, and citrus concentrate was down by $6 million, or 8%.
Over half of all exports for the month of July were destined for the United States, the UK, and the European Union, accounting for 28%, while CARICOM, where there is a growing market for non-traditional exports such as animal feeds and grains, received 9% of total exports. Overall, exports were down $55.4 million to $390 million compared to the same period a year ago. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Kayatano.